Hi, I'm b.Eastman. As the founder or CEO of a technology startup, one of our main priorities is closing new business. This recipe is specifically designed for founders and CEOs of technology startups with complex technology products that require a proof step. First, let's check where we are. We have a customer or two that we've won through our associations, our relationships, and our network. Now it's time to expand and build a pipeline of great prospects that will appreciate the value that we deliver in our products and services. This course provides a step-by-step process that accelerates building a pipeline and closing deals, and eliminates deals either delayed or slipping out of the pipeline completely. Lead generation, getting great prospects into the pipeline. Every sales opportunity starts with a lead. Leads are generated by targeting our ideal customers or audience. The first major step in building our pipeline is finding an audience that is genuinely going to appreciate the value that we deliver on our products. First, do we know who our ideal customer is? This is the audience validation sheet that we use with our clients. Our goal here is to create momentum in the market for our products. This is how we do it. This is the research that provides the description of a prospect that when we talk to them will be thrilled to have found our offering. We perform research to identify our ideal customers, the industries, companies, and the people. The second section is now that we can identify them, the research is around the problem that they're trying to solve. The third section is diving deeper into a specific vertical to be able to relate our solution to their problem using the unique language of their industry and job. The fourth section is the unique value we provide to their problem using their terms. The fifth section is our validation that this segment is large enough to warrant the focused attention and investment we're making. Completing these sections at some level is great marketing. If you do this, you'll dramatically increase your revenue pipeline and decrease the amount of time it takes to build a great pipeline of really good prospects. These are prospects that want your offering. Let's talk about lead generation services. Good leads versus bad leads. More is better, right? Not necessarily. Bad leads waste time, and worse, may distract us from our best prospects. There are several approaches to lead generation, and there are many companies that provide these services. This link provides services that we've used specifically with complex technology sales. Types of lead generation, we cover the right approach in a separate recipe, Successful Lead Generation. At a high level, the different approaches are LinkedIn, cold email, cold calls, or running campaigns with Google Ads. The last is website or content-based inbound lead generation. This is the information that we provide to our lead generation service. You'll notice that in most of these, there's drop-downs that provide additional information to help you fill out the form. Based on our research, we know the industry segment, the size of the company, the titles, the responsibilities, and their description of the problem that they want to solve, and the terms that they use to describe it. What else can we add? Technology filters. This can be a big deal if we currently support specific platforms and filter for them in our first outreach. The idea is to close business quickly. If we only support one platform, let's only talk to those companies that are on that platform. Once we've selected our target audience, we must provide our messaging to our ideal customers and our audience. You'll notice that for each one of these, we're creating a story where the character, which is the main person that we're calling on, this is the story and the messaging for that specific audience. You'll notice that for each one of these, we have different drop-downs that really give a description of what it is that we're looking for to complete that story for this specific audience. An example of defining who the specific person is within the company, whether it's IT, operations versus the business units. The key is we want to filter to our audience so that this messaging and this story resonates with that specific audience. Pro tip: start with a slightly broader set of filters initially and then narrow the focus over time based on results and feedback from active sales processes. This is the spreadsheet that we use when we're working with a client to identify what the ideal sales process should look like. We set the objectives for each of the steps, And then based on successfully completing that step, what is the probability associated with that deal closing based on a successful completion? We identified the different people by customer titles that we think should be involved in those meetings. And here's where we put comments. Basically, what is it that we're trying to accomplish on each of those steps? This is an account plan based on Miller-Heiman terminology for the different roles that people play in an enterprise software sale. The 4 key categories for contacts are the following, and you need to tailor your approach or proposition so that it resonates with their corporate and personal objectives. Again, this is back to the messaging that we've already covered. We also have a recipe, which is selling to the decision team, that identifies each of these roles and what the psychology and what the messaging should be to each of them. This is probably a good time to set a reminder that we're talking about complex technology sales that require a proof step. The different types of sales that we've seen business to business are self-serve, where somebody can log onto the website, download the software, and be off and running. Transactional, which is a little bit higher price and a little bit more technically challenging, but can be satisfied with support online, chat services, some minor support. The sales that we're talking about are complex technology sales that require a proof step. Basically, us installing and demonstrating that our software works for that customer in their environment with their people actually operating it. It's a much more expensive sale, much more time-consuming sale, and that's the reason why the sales process that we use is specifically designed to squeeze as much time out of the process as possible and be as efficient as possible in actually setting the objectives and having an agreement with the customer on what it is that we're going to be doing and what it is we're going to be demonstrating that would be sufficient for them at the end of the proof step for them to move forward and buy. So let's go ahead and get started with the 10 steps of the process. The first step is the introductory call.